Many people with emotional distress have a panic or phobia problem.
These disorders can impact on our lives in many ways. They can restrict our ability to live and work,
to the point that it becomes almost impossible to lead a normal life.
Let's
now
now
take a look at our stories.
Anxiety is a perfectly normal feeling that nearly all of us get. It keeps us on our toes when we face any difficult situation and we need to solve it. And the absence of anxiety is in fact a difficulty because we don't then perform at our best. So that's 100% of us have anxiety. But intense fear that becomes panic and phobia and interferes with our functioning affects maybe 1 in 10 people in the course of their lives. And at any one time, maybe about 1 in 20 people, about 5%, suffer from what we call a panic or phobic disorder.
When the problem first started, I began to avoid leaving the home. Now, if I try to leave my house, I immediately start to panic. I feel trapped if I'm not in the safety of my own house. I feel lost if I'm away from home. When panic strikes, my heart pounds. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm going to die.
I won't eat in front of other people. They all seem to be looking and laughing at me. I really worry about being with other people. If the phone rings, I get very nervous, and so I usually don't answer it.
I feel tired and exhausted all the time. I can never relax. My breathing is so short, and I just feel tense all of the time.
Panic is very intense fear, usually brought on by something special. For example, if I'm agoraphobic, then when I leave the house by myself, I suddenly feel that my heart is pounding and I can't breathe, that I'm dizzy and that I'm going to fall down and faint or drop dead at any moment. It usually doesn't last longer than a few minutes.
My panic and phobias really restrict my life. And what I can do, I can't lead a normal life. I'm so frustrated. When I look at my children, I think I'm a terrible mum because I can't go out with them anywhere. I feel so guilty. I haven't been to work for 2 years.
A phobia is an intense fear of something that doesn't inspire fear in most of us, or not much fear in most of us. For example, many of us are a bit frightened of spiders or heights, but that doesn't stop us from walking through a field or standing a couple of feet away from the cliff edge and looking down. But somebody who has a height phobia, for example, might not be able to go up a flight of stairs and look down from even the first floor.
I avoid being with people, unless I really have to. And then I get extremely nervous. I don't go to restaurants with work colleagues anymore. I always find an excuse not to go. I feel so stupid.
General anxiety is tension or nervousness, which is there without being brought on by anything in particular, so that it can last a short time or a long time, and we don't know what's bringing it on. So it's different from a phobia, for example, where if I'm height phobic, it's brought on by being close to a cliff edge. With general anxiety, I can't quite work out what's bringing it on.
Some nights I wake up and find myself thinking about what I've got to do the next day. everything seems so hard.
CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, is a method of helping sufferers from panic and phobia to directly confront their fear, to face it for prolonged periods of time until the panic and the phobia subsides. And usually this decline in the panic and phobia, provided they continue to face whatever it is that they fear without escaping from it, after about half an hour or an hour, the fear starts to subside. And they do this every day for perhaps an hour a day or longer. And simple phobias can be overcome within a few days, and more complicated phobias within weeks or months.
It's been 8 weeks now since I started my self-help programme. It's been really hard work, but I've started to take the bus 3 times a week for a part-time job and to see friends.
I'm less nervous in front of people now. I've started meeting up with old friends, and I'm spending a few hours at school each week. I'm even planning to go on a leaving do with a colleague next week.
Even if I do get tense once in a while, I've learned to ride it out, and I am much less anxious now.
FearFighter can really help you help yourself by guiding you into doing the self-exposure therapy that will help you learn to face your fear until it no longer terrifies you at all. It's helped many thousands of people in many different places with only very brief support from a therapist.
I've started to live again for the first time in years. I'm going to face each one of my remaining fears one by one until I've overcome them all.
I really enjoyed that leaving do. If you'd have told me a couple of months ago that I'd feel like this, I'd never have believed you.
It's like I don't have this weight on my shoulders anymore. And, you know, I can get on with some of the most simple things without having to worry all the time.
If you feel that you've experienced emotions in common with ours, then help is available. To find out if FearFighter is appropriate for you, then you should speak to a health professional or visit www.fearfighter.com for more information.